with Bruce Waynesbred.
Yeah.
Oh God. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the Superhero Cut Show, where we talk about things Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. Just to get you guys started, right? We are on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you don't catch the lives and you want to hear the audio, Jerry, how are you doing, man? What's going on?
I'm good. Yo, everyone. I kept telling Stevie that cosplay is whack, so he tried to prove me wrong, and he put this red bandana on. And he's like, "I'm gonna go Red Hood on you tonight."
Yeah,
And I kept telling him,
I'm trying to be Electra, bro. Trying to be, I mean, Marvel is trying to gender swap and then try these new things. I'm just saying, Marvel, you want a new Electra? Here you go.
yeah. Maybe I'll play Jamie Bond.
Yeah, bro. At this point, bro, we can be anything we want, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, say, yo, Jamie Bond is crazy. That's such a terrible name, Jamie Bond. Oh my God.
Jane Bond. It's James Bond. That's the only Bond there will ever be.
Jane Bond is hilarious, bro.
If you think differently, you should stay around to get roasted or know that this isn't the channel for you.
Exactly. Just watch. If you feel that, stay with your Tomb Raider. Like you got that. Stay over there. Tomb Raider. Good movie. We love Tomb Raider.
I could probably throw you a couple people that someone who kept stealing my content and I beefed with on Threads, and I could probably name drop him, and I'm sure he'll have a positive take on.
Yeah. Go to that guy.
Yeah.
So we do. I do apologize for not being here last week. I was out. I was out of town, and Jerry and I, we are to an extent. Well, he's more of a habit guy than I am, but we are creatures of habit. So we've kind of been itching to get back on the show. So we're happy. And to Jerry's fun, the main topic is Green Lantern. So I'm pretty excited that I get to see my friend talking about one of his favorite heroes. So let's get started, bro. So the internet has been swirling for the past day or two. So yesterday we heard a rumor that Josh Brolin was offered the role of Hal Jordan in the Lantern series. So let me just hear how you feel about this casting. How do you feel about the story, and we'll go from there.
So first of all, like we said from early on, or I know I did at least, that it seemed very obvious when James Gunn said that they were looking for someone. I forget the age range, but long story short, the age range they were looking for the Hal Jordan character was significantly older than the age range for the John Stewart character. So that made it obvious to me that they are going to pick John Stewart to be the main Green Lantern, which is fine. Listen, I'm a fan of both of them. I got into Hal first because I knew of Hal first, and then I ended up getting into John, and John's really cool in his own right. But now that there's the rumor is out that Josh Brolin has been offered the role, and I know the internet is kind of not happy about it, but it seems like most people are holding back on being overly critical, which is interesting because people haven't held back on being critical of James Gunn with the DCU. But on this instance, I think people have been. I think people really are not happy with it. They're like, I don't see the vision. And face value, I don't really see it either. However, here's the thing. I know Josh Brolin is a super talented actor. I would argue he is probably I wouldn't say he's an A-list actor, but he's pretty damn close. And I would say I do consider him an elite level talent, even though he's not an A-list. That basically meaning I think his skill level is there, but I don't think his fame level is like comparable to a guy like Ryan Gosling or something of that nature, and someone of that nature. And, listen, I think that Josh Brolin is a super talented actor, and he probably did some kind of audition or screen test and blew the right people away. That's what I think happened. And I don't think that James Gunn, if he picked Josh Brolin, I don't think he would have offered the role to Josh Brolin without good reason. And I do think that Josh Brolin has a couple of things going for him with this role. and that being that he is like an alpha dude. He's an alpha man. He is, someone who's super confident in himself. But I think like a lot of my issues with fan castings are they are purely based on looks and the personality of the actor or the few roles that we've seen the actor play. And obviously, the most famous roles they've done are the ones that stay in people's minds. But people forget that that's what acting is. And a lot of the best castings have been actors that played a role that was different than the roles we've already seen them in. And I think that a lot of the fan castings and the fandom as a whole leaves so little room for actors to get to kind of surprise us in a role and all critique the casting like before anything is even official or anything like that. And the thing with the internet is when you put information out there, you really don't get to control how it plays out. People will put out this podcast. Someone will be like, I don't know, James Gunn may have told one or two people that he was thinking about casting Josh Brolin. Now that, someone ended up leaking it to Deadline or whoever it was, and now it's on the internet, and you have a lot of people who are they're not, I wouldn't say people are being harsh on Josh Brolin, but people are definitely not in favor of the casting. And I don't think at face value, it makes sense to not be, but I also think that Josh Brolin isn't so far off from what Green Lantern is. I think we just haven't seen him be a cocky, humorous type of guy. But I do think that we have seen him be a guy that is absolutely confident in himself. And for a guy that is confident in himself, kind of looks the role already. It's not a big, they're not asking him to make a big leap to be a little humorous and cocky, not confident in the role. He's not that far off already from what Hal Jordan is. And I just think that these fan castings things are a poison and detrimental to the distance that the comic book genre could go in movies.
Yeah, great take, bro. Great take. The funny thing is that so I've been doing this thing, bro, where I've been writing down my fan castings on a notes document, and I had him down for Martian Manhunter. He was one of the people there, mostly because of the fact, with Thanos, you didn't really see his face, and he has such an iconic voice. I thought he would be perfect for a role like that. I even had him down for Darkseid as well. I thought that he would be a great the Darkseid if they were to when they bring him into the DCU. When it comes
by the
to
way, one more thing to add real quick.
Go ahead.
By the way, he's not an A-list actor yet, but this is the kind of role that would make him an A-list actor. So keep that in mind.
For sure. So with Josh Brolin, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was, to be honest, shocked that Brolin is being brought up to play the role. I mean, he is 56, which also has me kind of shocked that he was eyed. Because like from the documents that I read and from the stuff that we've covered in the past, it always said that they were looking for someone that's in their late to mid 40s. You know what I mean? So I thought that they were going to go for someone that's going to be like, 41, 42, that Jensen Ackles age, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. So this really, really shocked me. But I have been hearing what a lot of fans have been saying, and we're going to talk about this when we talk about Kyle Rayner next too. A lot of people have talked about how the Parallax storyline could possibly be adapted into this Green Lantern show. And if you don't know what the Parallax story is, just to make a long story short, right? Hal Jordan basically takes out the Green Lantern corpse and he becomes a freaking supervillain. And the comic book, that Parallax storyline is literally insane. So if that's the route that they're going, it would make sense that they would cast a older Hal Jordan. But I'm going to be honest, I do think that from the work that I've seen Josh Brolin do, can he play the role of Hal? Yes. Josh is a great actor. He is proven. He's been. I mean, this dude has Goonies. I mean, come on, he's a legend. And not to mention he played the greatest villain in film history. I mean, as Thanos. And he made emotion show from a CGI face. I mean, if that isn't enough proof, then what the heck is? But definitely not my first choice. And Jerry, I want to know how you feel about about a lot of people saying that that the Parallax storyline could be adapted if they are casting a Hal Jordan this old, and because it kind of rubbed me the wrong way because a lot of people are saying that online, and what kind of made me think is like, does that mean that the first Justice League villain could possibly be Parallax? But to me, to me personally, that for that story to happen, you have to build up to that, and so that will be weird. So how do you feel about that, about fans talking about that, even though I don't really think that story is even happening anytime soon? But
yeah, I think it's way too intense to go there already. I mean, we don't know anything. All we know is Josh Brolin's a little old. That's it. Like,
yeah, for sure.
That's a big jump.
100%.
I don't know that I would put it past them to shake things up with the core and the Guardians. For if you don't know and you're not familiar with the Green Lantern comics, the Guardians basically are these little blue guys in space that are the Guardians. They govern the Green Lantern Corps. So Hal is a Lantern, John is another Lantern, but there are also plenty of other Lanterns from other planets, and they don't look like humans. There was even a joke about one of them, I think, looking like a fish in the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie.
Yeah.
And a lot of them look like fish, so it was a funny joke. But, so they basically govern the Green Lantern Corps, and they have the Book of Oa, and Oa is where they govern from, and that's their home. So I could see them shaking things up with the Guardians. There's a lot of stories where things go wrong with the Guardians. Parallax just seems like a really big jump, and I don't think there's enough. I don't like theories where people take large leaps. Like I'm the kind of guy that I'm like, X, Y, and Z is happening, so I think something might be in the story. I'm not going to say, oh, Josh Brolin's 56 years old, so that means there's going to be this Parallax story. Like, that's a little crazy to me.
And bro, that's how I felt, because there's a big difference between saying you could see World's Finest happening, because obviously Superman and Batman are going to be in it, which is very possible, which we're going to talk about later on in our docket. But saying that Parallax, like when I heard those words, bro, I was like, let's stop right there, and just so you guys know, I I went through darn near almost every Green Lantern comic. So the Parallax story is a really, really deep, intense story, and there's a lot of buildup. There's a lot of things that have to happen in order for the Parallax story to even happen. And coming from what I think James Gunn mind is, at least, is like, I have to educate fans on who the Green Lanterns are. I think that the grandos of fandom doesn't really know much about the Oa or the Guardians or the different types of Green Lantern Corps, and or the different types
Spectrum.
the different type of Lantern Corps and all of that. And to be honest, there's so much of that beautiful universe, bro, that they can unpack before they have to get to the story that kind of tarnishes all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like the end game for or it is one of the end games now. And by the way, this story did get retconned as well. So that's another piece that a lot of people don't want to talk about, because after this happens, it's never brought up again. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because just to give you guys context, the reason why they brought in Kyle Rayner the reason why they did this whole story was because of the fact that they wanted to sell more comics, because Green Lantern wasn't really selling that well, and it didn't work. So why would they adapt a story that didn't really work well? You know what I mean? And so that's kind of where I'm at with all that crap.
Right. It reminds me of my hope to see like the Clone Saga in a Spider-Man movie, which I know is never going to happen. Like there's so many reasons why. And the other thing is a lot of the best Green Lantern stories, Stevie touched on this. There's a lot of groundwork that needs to be laid down, and Parallax is one of those. So
100%. So yeah, but other than that, yeah, man, Josh Brolin, like as I said, I can see it, but I don't want it. You know what I mean? But but if Josh Brolin is casted, it isn't like I hate it. It isn't like I'm gonna flip out like I am on the Joker later on in this docket. I'm not mad nor happy. As in the words of Jerry and a lot of others, I'm gonna let James Gunn cook. You know, um, I have to be consistent, right? And the same way me and Jerry love David Cornsweet being casted, and a lot of people did not, even if I'm not the biggest fan of Josh. I'm going to sit and see, what happens.
by the way, that's another thing. Like, and if you've been watching this show for a while, you probably heard me say a couple of times that I am someone that's in favor of casting undiscovered talent. And with someone like David Cornsweet, I think that he largely has that luxury that he's never really been typecasted. Even me, someone who watched him in Hollywood, and if you know, I hated that show. And nothing wrong with what they did in the show. I wasn't expecting what it was going into it. So I was like, oh, okay, this isn't for me. But, David Cornsweet was in that, and that didn't like typecast him for me. But my issue with a lot of the fan castings is you can't fan cast with undiscovered talent. So people naturally only fan cast. I had threads that and a tweet that I got some good engagement on about it the other day, if you want to find it. But basically, oh, well, Glenn Powell, or it's always the same people for the same
Sydney
roles.
Sweeney. Yep.
It's so boring. Like if you are fan casting on the internet and you're doing it for any other reason than you're getting good engagement for it, like it's just corny. And if you are getting good engagement for it, like, wouldn't you rather put good ideas out into the fandom? Like, come on.
I mean, bro, take Tom Holland for an example. He was in plays in theaters, bro, before he was Spider-Man. Know,
Timothy Dalton is a Shakespeare guy, and people didn't really know who he was, and they picked him to do James Bond. He only did 2, unfortunately, but he is by far the most underrated Bond, and one of his 2 Bond movies I would put in my top 5. So
yeah. So I mean, like there is, and so James Gunn is obviously and James Gunn is obviously, bro, going in the Kevin Feige route of casting, which is Feige is the king of finding casting that no one really thinks about. I mean, like think about this, Chris. Sorry, y'all, my mic just cut out. One second. All right, we're good. Yeah. Look, Chris Hemsworth before Thor, he was not known. Chris Evans was known, but I mean, like Captain America was his hit, So, I think that James Gunn is following in those same footsteps, following that route of casting people, where they need these projects, and that's what I think James Gunn is doing. He's trying to find people that need these films to work. I think, and there's a lot of things that we could talk about with why Marvel is having some of its struggles. I do think one of those is that some of the actors that they are casting, they don't need the success of Marvel. And James Gunn is finding people that need these films to be like someone like David Cornsweet. I mean, he hasn't gotten much work, but this Superman, if he lands Superman, he's for life. He's set. I mean, look at Robert Downey Jr. Look at what he went through. He didn't have to come back. He's really set for life. He's made darn near $500 million, doing superhero films. So, I trust what James Gunn is doing. And, if this is who he has to play Hal Jordan, this just means that whoever is cast as Jon Stewart, it's going to be a really good casting. And I'm really excited. And I'm not going to get into it because I'm not going to do, he followed him, so this means this. We all know Tom King followed freaking Damson Idris. We're not going to go down that route. But yeah,
Tom King followed Damson Idris.
Tom King and some other DC guy, I forget the name, but they followed
Oh
Damson
yeah,
Idris.
like
I'm not doing this
like the
again.
gossip pages who are like, oh,
it's like
Kendall
Shade
Jenner
Room, bro.
followed Devin Booker, so like they're back together. Like
no, no. Like we need an announcement. So all right, let's read some chats on this topic. Superhero cuts. If Josh Brolin declines the role, wow, Ewan McGregor. Never thought of that.
I prefer that less, actually.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I like Ewan McGregor, but I think he has a feminine side to him, and I don't think that is the thing for Hal Jordan. I think it works in Star Wars because the main characters in Star Wars have always been kind of feminine. I mean, I think Mark.
Whoa, time out. What are we talking about here? Hold on. Obi-Wan is not feminine, bro. But I will say this: Ewan looks more
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan had a whole girl, bro, and she died, bro. Gotta watch Clone Wars. Hey, bro.
Hello there. Bro, that was a little feminine.
Hello there, bro. It's accent, bro. If you watch Clone Wars, you would understand, bro. All of my Clone Wars fans, you guys understand what I'm saying. But
bro, that wasn't Ewan McGregor.
It's the same character.
But it's not the same actor.
All right. I did disagree. I do not think Ewan was feminine at all. Okay. But I will say this. Do you know who he does look like? Comic book Oliver Queen. He does, though. The beard and the hair, he looked just like him.
Bro, that pic I sent you of Oliver Queen in Trunks the other day, that was crazy.
Bro, we need more Trunks. Well, not because of that, but we need more Trunks in the DCU, bro. Just don't get Batman Trunks. I do not want to see Batman. Like, just like, please don't give me the Batman Trunks, bro. I knew Hal was going to be much older, but I didn't think he was going to be this much older. But I'm willing to let Gunn cook. But after watching Sonic, I feel like James Marsden will be another good choice as Hal Jordan.
Do I need to watch Sonic because everyone's
going bro.
Sonic 3.
Sonic is awesome, bro. Sonic is awesome.
I'm gonna have to watch Sonic.
Sonic is fun. It's just
it's fun. Dragon Trainer, I would love to see it, but they are not paying Tom Cruise money that he is worth, and it's never gonna happen.
Yeah. Let me just say this, Dragon. If Tom Cruise was to play, there's no Jon Stewart. like no.
Keep in mind,
Jordan is the guy. Like
a lot of these fan castings, and listen, I would love to see Tom Cruise. I love Tom Cruise, but the thing is, when you keep in mind these fan castings, you have to keep in mind two things. Both Disney and Warner Brothers are not in good positions financially right now. So, like, yes, Disney just did agree to pay Robert Downey Jr. $80 million. It's a little different because he is the battle-tested star for them, and there's no DC equivalent because DC is just starting out. And because they're just starting out, they don't have the justification to pay any. They don't even have the justification to pay someone. They're probably not even going to offer $10 million for a role unless it's for multiple movies. You know, I mean, I get Robert Downey Jr. but you get what I'm saying here. Robert Downey Jr. is the exception, not the rule. They're not going to be paying top dollar, especially not DC. WB is in a really, really tough situation financially, and they simply cannot afford it. And that's why I'm leaning towards non-A-list talent like Josh Brolin, who's only going to be around for a short amount of time, and to more undiscovered talent like David Cronenberg. I guarantee you, when they cast Batman, it is an actor. It's going to be another actor like David Corenswet, who people don't really know. I actually would guarantee you that.
You also got to understand, right? Like,
it's not going to be Jensen Ackles. I'm calling that now too.
Well, it can't because he's doing a whole project with He's doing a Soldier Boy project with he's doing another show with The Boys, so he's definitely not going to be. They locked him in, which is smart on their part. He's a great actor. I think that. Oh, but what you guys also have to understand that with A-list actors, they have control of their movies, right? So like The Rock with Black Adam, he got to do whatever he wanted. And I promise you, if Tom Cruise does Green Lantern, he's going to do what he wants. Okay. And just being real, we saw what happened with Jack Reacher. You know, I mean, the Jack Reacher films are good, but it wasn't nowhere near lined up to the source, you know? So and that's another reason why studios like to cast, actors and directors that aren't as cocky because they get to have more control, So also take that into account when
And
you're thinking of actors.
Alan Richson, I think, said something stupid publicly recently too, and
What he
that's
said.
something they look at. And by the way, they need to insure these movies. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. So when actors start like opening their mouths politically, and anything political is controversial these days, they're less likely to get roles.
100%. I mean, bro, 100%. I agree, Jerry. You fan cast an actor, you see how they look like as a character. When you look at them, they are perfect for the role. Yeah, and look, right, there are some castings that would be great, like Michael B. Jordan as John Stewart, like that.
Or an
That's
actor
that's
that
not a bad fan
actually,
casting. You know what I
or
mean?
an
Like
actor
some of those aren't bad.
that actually looked like Reed Richards. Wouldn't that be great?
You said what?
An actor that actually looked like Reed
Oh
Richards.
God, here we go. We're not doing this. Yo, I feel like the Reed argument is becoming our new Dark Knight, and I don't like that. We're just going to stop.
I watched Batman Begins last night.
I love that movie. Yeah,
Bro, I don't know how anyone could argue that isn't such like,
dude. Bro, Batman Begins is my favorite movie out of the three.
It's tough for me to pick a favorite because I think they're all that good. Like, I really do, and that's why I say they're a unit. Like that.
Whatever you say, Jose.
That trilogy is like the defining trilogy.
Side. I you know what I mean? I think I could have made a better Batman film. I saw the Kyle right.
You've never even made a movie.
I should. All right, we should honestly. We're gonna talk about Kyle next, bro. I promise you. Like, that's the next one I did. Although I don't mind the TV show for Green Lantern, I do hope at some point Gunn moves away from the TV show and have Lantern have a solo film with the Flash.
So, two things on that. Number one, I guarantee you they do a solo movie, and it's going to be a John Stewart solo movie. I also think that the John Stewart thing is like, the more I think about the John Stewart thing is, obviously representation is important. There you go. They get to have, a legacy character who's a black superhero, which is important, obviously. And, listen, Hal takes the back seat. John's going to be the star. But it would be cool to see a Hal and Barry Allen duo movie. I don't know if we'll ever get that, but if you don't know, they are like best friends in the comics. So,
well, as you said before, right? We know that there's going to be a little time jump when we come into the DCU, so we might get some past projects, maybe explaining some things that have transpired, because
right,
with Hal Jordan being older, and I just made a theory video, or not a theory, but I made a thing today just talking about how I think that Chris Pratt could possibly be a J, from the freaking Flash.
I really hope they don't do
Jay Garrick.
Bro, his stupid.
No, well, yeah.
So
I don't think that Jay Garrick. So I do want to rephrase that, because after I text you that, I typed it all out. I don't think Jay Garrick would be the main Flash, but I've been seeing this theme, right, that they've been having, where like family is obviously going to be the main thing for the DCU, with Supergirl coming out of Superman. She's probably going to be in the Superman film. We're getting the Bat family. We're getting John and Hal, and just a bunch of other people. I would love a movie with the Flash family. That would be freaking awesome. I ain't gonna lie. Like, if you had Barry, Wally, Jay, you got the whole gang, that would be such a fun cook. And I think that would be a fun introduction into the DCU Flash.
Screw that. I hate Jay Garrick. I can't take him seriously.
Why?
Stupid hat, bro.
They can make in the CW Flash, bro, that suit was fire.
Are you high?
I gotta send you the picture, bro. It's fire, bro.
I hated that,
bro. Maybe the reason why they want to adapt it is to change things around, like rewrite it and make it new, building it from the ground up. Who knows? Well, I wouldn't be against that. Agree. Going more unknown actors that look like the roles better than famous 100%. Is why I roll my eyes when I hear Timothy Chalamet is Nightwing.
Great point.
LOL. And yeah,
He would kill it, but like,
and bro, here, but here's the thing: 10 years ago, he was a low key actor. You know what I mean? And now he's just booming. So it's definitely not happening.
A-listers don't start out as A-listers.
Mm-hmm. People fan cast actors every day. For example, Ryan Gosling, Shia LaBeouf as Iceman. What? Nick Jonas is who is making these fan cast? No, that is terrible.
Yo, we have a lot of questionable people in our fandom.
Bro, that is a terrible fan casting.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Shia LaBeouf is Iceman? Are you serious?
No, we have the dumbest people in our fandom. And by the way, a lot of them, they love to talk their politics and virtue signal. If you're going to go online and you're going to virtue signal, you better be fucking Gandhi, okay? It's ridiculous. And most of you are not. Like, you're actually garbage people that bully other people who have disagreeing opinions, and you have the dumbest fan cast. And even worse, some of you cosplay, okay? So we don't take you seriously anyway.
Yeah, that is just terrible. Shia LaBeouf is Iceman? Like, what?
Yeah. And
It's
Nick
like,
Jonas, I actually watched a show with Nick Jonas, and he was great in it. So
he's a good actor, bro. And he can sing his butt off. I mean, no, he's talented, but as Pyro, are you serious?
By the way, I'm going to throw that out as a recommendation. It's called Kingdom. I think it's still on Netflix. And Frank Grillo, the guy who played Crossbones, he's the dad, and he's got like 3 sons, and they're all MMA fighters. I think you told you about it to tell your boy who does MMA.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Bro, that show is incredible. It's so good.
Fire. Yeah. But yeah, dude, Pyro is a crazy take. Derpy and Tim, hey fellas, what's up, Derp? Hope you're doing good, brother.
I like the photo.
Facts. Superhero cuts. What about Brandon Skinner for Batman? That's let me see.
I don't think this guy at all.
I've seen this guy in some interviews. I think he just did that movie with Blake Lively, right? It ends with us. Yeah. Yep.
He looks a lot more to me like Barry Allen than he.
Yo, I was thinking the same thing, dude. Yeah. He'll be a good Barry Allen. All right. Now, Hungry Almighty, you asked for Kyle Rayner, so we're going to give Kyle Rayner to you right now. So
you spelled it wrong.
Wait,
it's a Y, not an I.
What? And Rayner?
Yeah.
R-A-Y?
Yeah, R-A-Y-N-E-R.
R-A-Y. Thanks, bro.
No problem. Sorry, I should have texted you that.
No worries, bro. We like family now on this show, man. You guys know how we do it. Yeah. Okay, so another rumor came out today about Green Lantern with a bunch of other news, right? That Kyle Rayner is also going to be debuting in the DCU. And so I wanted to talk about him possibly being in the DCU, but also in the Lantern show. So what I found kind of weird, bro, was, I thought about is it possible that Kyle could maybe be in Superman, maybe dealing with some stuff with what's his name? Who's the Green Lantern that's in Superman? Now it was just in my head. Frick. Now I have to Google it. Nathan Fillion.
Oh, I was like, which one's a Superman? No, Guy Gardner.
Yes. With Guy Gardner, I thought about maybe Kyle Rayner popping up or something crazy stuff like that. But honestly, man, I don't think Kyle Rayner's coming anytime soon. How do you feel about that? Do you think Kyle Rayner could possibly be popping up anytime
I hope
soon?
not. Listen, 3 is enough. And I'm a Green Lantern guy, but like 3 is enough unless they're talking about a movie and like I don't know. I don't care that much for Kyle. I don't care that much for Guy. Like Hal and John are my guys, and no Diddy. But yeah, like nah.
Yeah, nah. I'm not the biggest. I'm not.
Crazy to me is everyone was like, Zack Snyder's rushing everything, and now everyone's like, we need more characters and we need it now. Like, what happened to like slowly building the universe being the thing?
Bro, Hal Jordan didn't even work in live action. So how are you gonna freaking try to, try to push like all these different characters? I
I
agree
don't
with
think
what
that
you
movie's
said, bro.
that bad, by the way. I think that movie is. I think a lot of movies are unfairly criticized for the wrong reasons, and I think that was one of them.
I think I said that last. I think I said that last episode that it's not that bad.
It's
And by the way,
not.
and as I said, I love those costumes. Those
By the
costumes are
way,
freaking awesome.
the
I love
same
those Green Lantern
director
suits.
who did that movie, his name is Martin Campbell. He also did GoldenEye and Casino Royale.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Didn't know that. But yeah, bro. I mean, it's not that bad. And plus, as I understood, the costumes are awesome. But I'm saying, like, from a fan as a whole reaction, it just didn't work, and fans hated it. So why do you think that James Gunn is just going to throw every Green Lantern at our face? You know what I mean? Like, no. Like he's starting with the two main GLs that everyone knows, and I think he's going to build off of that, and that's the perfect combination. And I think Guy Gardner is a Green Lantern that you can put in almost anybody's story, and he could play literally a C to D list character. He did that in the Batman Brave and Bold animation show. He popped up all the time, and he never was too big. He was like the perfect C D list character, and and he brings comic. He's funny. I think.
And my big theory
I think
is
he's going to kill it, bro.
my big theory, like I said before, is the fact that John is going to be the main Green Lantern. Why do I have this theory? Is based on the ages that they're looking for the castings. It's not super intricate. It's not, when X happens, when Y happens, when Z happens. Like, there are some guys out there that are like 40 years old that are like flexing their theories as if they're the Bible online. It's like, chill the hell out, bro. You're not writing the script.
Yeah, not to also mention that James Gunn said in comments to people that he's going off of the animated JL shows where Jon Stewart was the main guy. So it kind of makes sense with what he said there and the casting. The only casting that a lot of people are arguing about is it Barry or Wally? I think that's probably the biggest question when it comes to characters with
I think
DCU.
the fandom is like evenly torn on that. I think there's two reasons. I think that most people who read the comics want Wally, but there's a lot of people who want Barry because they're familiar with him from the TV show. I read comics. I happen to still want Barry. I just like Barry. He reminds me of Peter Parker. So
Yeah,
I always liked him for that reason. He's not Peter Parker, but he has a lot in common with him.
Remember when I told you? I think we were talking about it, that like when I was a kid, I didn't know it was Wally for like a good like 3 seasons, good like couple seasons until that they said it. Like you
didn't realize that the black kid was Wally in the CW show.
No, in the animated show, bro.
Oh. I was like, bro, they said his name like right away.
No, if that's the case, take me to the hospital, dude. Call Emily, tell her to run me to the ER. If that's the case, I'm colorblind, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like in the animated show, like you would have, bro, if you watched it, you would have thought it was Barry. You know what I mean? And then when they said Wally, we're like, what? Right, like Wally was. So, I don't think it's going to matter. I would like Wally personally, just because I would just like something different. But
I also
I don't care.
really want to see Arrow. Arrow is such a cool character. He has his own, like, one of the things that's I think is cool about DC characters is a lot of them have their own world around them, and that is like really, it really sticks out when they have their own city, and like I don't know. I think Arrow is like dark, especially right now. Like, if you are reading the new DC comic event, Absolute Power, it is so sick. And spoiler alert, if you are going to read it and you haven't picked it up yet, but basically, Amanda Waller strips all the superheroes of their powers, and Oliver Queen goes bad and teams up with her. It's sick.
And by the way, whenever we talk about Green Arrow, we always got to give love. Stephen Amell is one of the greatest He is the greatest TV show hero casting of all time.
I love him. By the way, he's also making a new show.
Suits, right?
I love the first one.
Same here.
Yeah, and I can't wait for the new one. And
yeah, he is a under. Honestly, bro, Jerry Stephen Amell doesn't get enough love for what he did with Arrow. That show, those first that first like what the first 4 seasons is the greatest superhero TV of all time.
It was incredible, bro. Peak TV.
And in season 1, bro, he's just killing everyone. I mean, he's murdering everybody.
That season 1 rivals Netflix Daredevil.
100%. It's just it's so violent, and to think that a CW show got that gritty, bro, was
And then there's Red Arrow, Malcolm Merlin.
Oh, dude, Merlin, bro. Malcolm Merlin, bro.
The Lazarus Pit, the League of Shadows,
Deathstroke. Like, bro, they went crazy with that, bro.
They really did.
They went crazy with that. All right. Now let's read a couple of these, and then we can get to the next topic. Let's see, bro. Fandom online is just so dumb. It's not even funny. I saw a recast T'Challa thread. The amount of dumb stuff
was that mine? Because I had a post about recasting T'Challa. My new thing, by the way, because everyone tries to go into the comments. Well, I disagree with you, and you're wrong, and you should kill yourself. And I'm like, so now I just post my controversial takes, and I write under them, "You can't change my mind."
Guy, I think he's responding to Guy Gardner season 2. So you want Kyle Rayner season 2? I would say no.
Yeah,
I would say
I would still
maybe after the 10 years, then you do a parallax storyline. Superhero cuts. Don't forget Kyle Rayner is Mexican or half Mexican. Yeah. All characters exist. All characters exist. All characters do exist, but that doesn't mean that you have to bring them in all at the same time.
Yeah.
Kyle Rayner is a character that is like needed for the story. You know what I mean? So if you don't need him, why use all of the arrows in your quiver, bro?
Right. Adam Warlock didn't exist until Guardians of the Galaxy,
and no one cared.
It's not like we saw him be born. Actually, we kind of did see him be born but okay.
Is Lantern's going to be an origin story? Most likely no, but I do expect the Guardians to tell us the origin.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be an origin story, but I do think the origin is going to be touched on, especially with characters that like beyond characters like Batman and Superman that casuals know. Casuals really don't know Green Lantern. Yeah. There's one movie, it came out over 10 years ago, and there hasn't been a TV show to my knowledge, and they know most movie-going fans don't read comics, so they're going to have to touch on the origin.
So if you do want to get ahead of the game, watch Justice League Frontier. In that movie, they do the origin of Hal Jordan.
I also think and
he's actually the hero of that film.
Like understanding the origin of a lantern is really important to understanding the lantern lore, because you have to learn about how the rings pick someone and why the ring picks someone.
Yeah, exactly. See, so I would, guys, like if you want to get a comparison into how deep the Green Lantern lore is, it's like Harry Potter, like kind of like how like the wands chooses its owner. That's how deep the rings are. Like, just think about that, and like just think about how deep Harry Potter's lore is. That's how deep Green Lanterns go.
Green Lantern
like it really is a really deep franchise.
And the two traits that the rings look for are the ability to overcome fear and strong willpower.
Yep. So I can see Kyle Rayner appear in Elite like chapter 2 or 3 situation. Exactly. First chapter, nah. I don't mind Wally being the main Flash, but what I don't want to see is when we are introduced to the DCU Flash, when we found out Barry's already dead in the universe and Wally is already the Flash. Barry could be somewhere else, Who knows where Barry is? I mean, Barry could be trapped in the Speed Force. Who knows? A lot could be going on. Which will be interesting if Wally's the Flash right now and Barry's trapped in the Speed Force and the whole Flash movie is about getting Barry out. That would be insanity, bro. I mean, there's so many ways.
I do think Flash is going to be like, I don't think they have the ability to introduce all the big characters right away. And I think Flash is going to be one of those later characters because he wasn't on the OG slate that James Gunn announced in his Gods and Monsters video. And the MCU didn't bring everyone in right away. Like Spider-Man, we didn't get for, it took almost 10 years to get Spider-Man. That had to do with licensing too, but he's not the only big character. It took them a while to intro.
Yep. 100%. Here you go, Jerry. No, Jerry, it wasn't your thread. But oh my god, I swear I almost lost my brain cells on the amount of dumb stuff I read from people who were against recast T'Challa.
Let's not look to honor Chadwick and honor Black Panther. Let's not make another Black Panther movie. Like
imagine saying that about an artist. Chadwick Boseman is like a film savant. Like that will go against everything that he stood for.
By the way,
as an actor, like that's so crazy.
Someone commented on my post on it. I forget if this comment was on Threads or Twitter, but he was like, if Tom Holland died, you think we wouldn't see Peter Parker again? He was like, GTFO. Like, and he was so right. He was so right.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I saw a video on YouTube that's, by the way, I mean, never mind. I'm not going to go on. I saw a video on YouTube that said Green Lantern and Doctor Strange are similar movies, bro. Doctor Strange 1 is fire. I love Doctor Strange 1. All right, now let's go to the next topic. Would a world's finest movie break the internet? So James Gunn was asked, I think it was on Instagram or on Threads or whatever it was, that if he was to make a Batman and Superman film, what would he name it? And he ended up saying he would name it World's Finest. Now, for fans, if you know the DC,
it's such a sick name. Like,
right?
It's like,
it's fire.
We are the top dogs. Batman and Superman, World's Finest. Boom.
Exactly. So for fans, right? If you've been in the DC animation game, right, there's actually a World's Finest movie, and it's literally probably the best animated film that they made. I mean, it's pretty freaking awesome.
It's also the name of their comic series.
Yes.
When there's Batman and Superman comic series.
Mini series, right? Well, it's like
it's an ongoing
mini series. I'm pretty sure, right?
No, it's an ongoing series, bro. World's Finest. Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure it started off because I remember this because I remember my because didn't it start off as like a 10-issue
10 series is not necessarily a mini series in DC.
Because I remember it started off as like 10 issues, and then fans got like so like attracted to it, and then they just kept doing more and more and more.
I didn't know that, but it's possible. But like right now, they have one going, and it's like 20 plus issues. I haven't, but it's on my list.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Sick. Yeah, let me hold on. Let me write that down. Give me a second.
Yeah.
All right, bet. I got it down. Yeah, man. So, if you guys don't know, I mean, this is so World's Finest is basically a Superman and Batman team up. Now, Jerry, the question is, do you think that a World's Finest movie will break the internet?
So we kind of got one, even though it was not World's Finest because it had a big V in the middle of it. But they did a Batman and Superman movie, and it leads me to question if DC would be confident in doing it right away. I think if they were going to do it, they'll do it down the line after they've successfully established the DCU Superman and the DCU Batman. I think at that point, yes, I think it would break the internet. But I think if they announced it right now, I don't think it would go over so well.
Yeah, 100%. So you think that this is something that maybe like 5 years, six years down the road, once they got like a few films going, or would you want to see this movie like after the first like decade?
Once they have the point where fans are obsessed with the DCU Superman and the DCU Batman, and not a moment before.
Yeah, because
the point, like the way kids were obsessed with Iron Man. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
So, can I just tell you what the World Finest film that like can we talk about the plot that they did in the film?
In the animated one?
Yeah.
I think I've seen it.
Yeah, so if you remember, basically Lex Luthor was president, and basically he had like the Justice League to his like basically his beck and call, and basically he basically made Batman and Superman fugitives, and then they all went after Batman, Superman, and they fought against all the heroes, all of the bad guys, and destroyed honestly all of them. So do you think that type of film would do numbers? And do you think that
We
would
got John
excite
Campea
fans?
in here. Man, I love your show.
If that is real, dude, I'm gonna
That's
cry.
crazy.
If that is actually John Campea, bro, that would be insane.
Yeah. Is that actually John?
I'm checking right now. But yeah, bro. So how would you feel about that?
So what? The comment or what you said? And is that actually John?
Oh my God, that's actually John.
That's crazy.
John Campea, what's up, man? Hope you were doing well.
I listen to your show all the time.
Facts. But yeah, bro. So how would you feel about that? Like, do you think that would break the internet?
So, bro, thank
John,
you.
Thank you, bro.
That's awesome.
Appreciate
I really
you, man.
appreciate that. Do I think that would? I think that would be a cool concept. I love the idea. I think I've seen the movie. I think that's the movie that they took the Avengers scene in Endgame where Captain Marvel flew to rescue Iron Man in the beginning of the movie. I think that came from that movie. I think it would be cool. I don't know that I like the idea for the first World's Finest movie to be against evil Lex Luthor government. I kind of don't like the idea of, I just don't think it's a safe move. I think that's a risky move to use an evil American government against the world's finest. I think it would be cool if America could be supportive of the world's finest against a villain that everyone agrees is a villain.
So something like otherworldly type deal.
Not necessarily. You know, you could, Lex Luthor could be the villain and be American. I'm not saying the villain has to be a foreigner or off-world, although I would love to see someone like Brainiac,
That's what I want, dude. I want Brainiac. That'll be fun.
I also think Brainiac is like the coolest looking DC villain.
Oh, dude, he's so awesome. He is awesome. All right. John said, shout out to John Campbell. Kids get obsessed with Iron Man after one film. They can't spend too much time on Batman and Superman before expanding the universe.
That may be true, but I do think they could expand the universe with other characters other than Batman and Superman. But I guess to my point about waiting for kids to be that obsessed with Batman and Superman, yeah, would you like to see a World's Finest movie from the DCU? And John, when ideally do you think that could happen?
Yeah, facts. Because I think that fans are going to cling to Green Lantern more than Superman.
Yeah,
you know, like if it does, work out that way, I think it could be something like super special if they go that route.
Yeah.
So, all right, now let's read some more chats about this. Batman and Superman team up movie. The title will be Batman and Superman Heroes United. No, bro, we gotta do World's Finest, bro. World's Finest is fire. No way that John Campea, right? Isn't that crazy? Shout out to John, man. We like John. We watch your content for years, bro.
Yeah,
I watch your stuff for years.
I listen to it in my car all the time.
Yeah, you and a few others are the reason why I got into this. So shout out to you. Okay, now I want to talk about this theory that came out. So the theory that came out was they said that shout out to Josh, Den of Nerds. He put out this theory, and it really had me stumbling. So he has this theory saying that Dr. Doom will kill Peter Parker.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, wait. He responded back.
Yeah.
James. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jerry. James Gunn already confirmed if he does a Superman, Batman crossover, it will be World's Finest and things. Of course, bro. Of course, man. Shout out to you. So let's get Den of Nerds put out this theory saying that Dr. Doom will kill Peter, and basically he talked about the fact of how Dr. Doom is most likely going to come into the MCU after in the end credits of the Fantastic Four. That's been the big rumor that's been going around, and he talked about the fact that in Avengers Doomsday, Peter could get the symbiote, at the end of Avengers Doomsday, because it will be perfect. It will be perfectly lined up leading into Secret Wars. And he even talked about, how it could possibly be where we get a Spider-Man film with just Peter with the symbiote. So I wanted to hear how you would feel about that possibly happening or about that theory. Like, do you want would you want Doctor Doom to kill Peter and him get the symbiote that way, or would you want it to happen like another way?
I'm torn because as much I think big deaths are important. I'm sold on the idea after Endgame. But at the same time, I don't want to see characters like Spider-Man die because it's my favorite character. And I also don't know if I like the idea of Doom getting the symbiote. Number one, I don't think he needs it. And number two, if they are going to use the symbiote, like I don't understand a world where they could. I'm still confused to how they built up the Venom Spider-Man crossover. Remember Venom, Let There Be Carnage. The post-credit scene was basically Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man No Way Home, the post-credit scene was basically Venom. And it seems like we're not getting a Venom Spider-Man movie unless that's what Kevin Feige was kind of hinting at with this off-world thing, which I don't really think it is what he's hinting at. And I don't think, I don't know where Dr. Doom killing Peter Parker and getting the symbiote really comes from, but it's not a theory I have.
Yeah, so I think that a lot of fans are feeding into that thought of, like Doom gets unmasked and Peter sees him, looks like Tony, he freaks out, which very could possibly happen, whatever. I think that it will be very predictable for them to go that route of, Peter Parker getting killed by Dr. Doom, getting the symbiote. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to do something different because they are creators, and I think they're going to go a different route that way. But would that be cool? Of course, Dr. Doom killing Peter. That'd be freaking awesome. But I think that, and we've heard rumors, obviously, that Peter is going to be a focus in the Avengers films. But we can't downplay the beef that is Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom, and that's the beef. That's the beef, and that's, I think, what a lot of fans are going to, and because we haven't gotten the Fantastic Four film yet, and the fact that we haven't gotten to see Victor Von Doom and Reed interact with each other.
The other thing,
a lot of people haven't seen those two collide yet.
The other big thing here is I always thought that this Secret Wars was the 2015 Secret Wars. However, this theory, if he's, and I guess some people do think it's going to be the OG Secret Wars, and that's what happens in the OG Secret Wars. So it's not a far-fetched theory.
Yeah.
But the reason I think it's the 2015 Secret Wars is because they've already confirmed Incursions, and Incursions is the Jonathan Hickman Avengers saga, also known as Time Runs Out. In my opinion, it's the greatest comic run of all time.
Yeah.
And yeah, so, but I guess they could pull from, I'm sure there'll be some nods to the OG, but I do think that the main story is going to be the 2015 because the Incursions, because obviously with Fantastic Four, and that storyline leads into the 2015 Secret Wars. 2015 Secret Wars is a real in-depth character analysis on Reed and Dr. Doom. The best Dr. Doom stories are character analysis because this guy is a very richly layered character. He is deep. He is not someone like Thanos is a little more simple. Thanos is, I believe in balance. There's not enough resources. I'm doing a good thing here. I'm killing half, the population, and that's as deep as it gets.
Yeah.
And it works for him. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying how it is. Doctor Doom, not so much. And that's the other thing I think a lot of people are kind of overlooking with the casting of RDJ. I think RDJ is someone who could play a richly layered character. And I know some people are like, oh, well, Iron Man's simple. He's just, a rich playboy, arms dealer. Well, that doesn't mean that RDJ hasn't played, rich layered characters. And he did in Oppenheimer, and he killed it as Levi Strauss. So the other thing here is I don't think they're going to kill Peter Parker. I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to do it because I think that if they had to be honest with themselves, the cost of killing off both Iron Man and Cap, and I'm not talking about all the logistics that went into it because I don't think it was entirely their choice. I do think that Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. wanted, at the very least, a break from the MCU.
Yeah.
And I don't think they were able to keep paying them what they were paying them at the time. But I don't think that I don't think they realized how difficult things were going to be without Iron Man, without Captain America. And I don't think they want to go into the next MCU saga without their prime number one major character, at least while the dust is still settling. Because we know where they're going to go into the mutants and the X-Men and that whole thing. And, technically they could do that without Spider-Man. However, Spider-Man is the number one Marvel character by any measure.
But let me add a but though.
Well, let me finish this real quick because we're going to get into my Miles theory.
Oh God, here we go. This is why I was trying to stop you. Oh, just go.
I do think they're going to bring Miles in, and I think that is their best bet. But I don't think they're going to kill off Peter Parker. I do think that we're going to have Peter and Miles simultaneously.
Okay, but I'm gonna add that in there. But I do think that like if you just not kill him all, but if he does die, then he gets the symbiote at the end of the film. That would be cool. That'd be kind of cool, but predictable. Yeah. And that's the only reason why I'm not a big fan of it. It just seems too predictable to me. John House facts the GOAT. Wait, I heard and read Dr. Doom is going to kill the Council of Kings. That is also a rumor that he's going to kill the Council of Kings. I think we talked about that last week, bro, right? Or 2 weeks ago. If Peter Parker dies, the symbiote should bring him back to life 100%, which is possible. So now, we're going to get to the next topic, the Joker 2, okay? Now, the fact that we're covering the Joker just shows how much we love you guys. Because, let's be honest, because we're not the biggest fans of this project. This just shows how much we love you guys, and so let's get to it. So a few things were revealed today in regards to the Joker 2. So for the Joker 2, we got to see Harvey Dent, which was all right. And then we also got a scene with Harley Quinn, talking to the Joker. Now, what was talked about was when she said that she saw the Joker for the first time. Now, just to give context, the first time she saw him for us, right, we saw this scene at the end of the film when the Joker was on the talk show and he shot, that TV show host in the face or whatever. And she said that, that she wished that the Joker would shoot the TV host in the head. And she said that when he did, she didn't feel so alone anymore. And then they both started like singing this song all slow. And, this is obviously supposed to be a heartfelt scene. This might be the first time that like they meet. That's my guess. And, it's kind of like it's kind of supposed to be this heartfelt, I found the love of my life type of scene. So in regards to, aside from our anger or our annoyance of this film, just from a logical standpoint, before we get into our emotions, how do you feel about the trailers and even from this clip today? How do you feel about it? Like as a movie?
I gotta say, like, the more I see about this movie, it has me more intrigued than I thought I would be. However, I still want to not see it. I still want to rip on them for it because I don't think musicals have a place in this genre, and I'm
Yeah.
so mad at them
Oh
for
wait,
making.
I'm not laughing. It's just funny when you say this. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, no, seriously,
Yeah.
like musicals are so corny, and I know there are people that like them. Go watch The Little Mermaid, okay? Like, I mean, seriously,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they sing about everything. It's like, I'm going to take a piss, I'm gonna take a
yeah.
shower. It's like it's corny. I mean, you really want to watch them sing? The Joker? You
Oh,
want to watch the Joker sing? What are you nuts? This is crazy. And you know, like it has no place. I think it's damaging to the character. I think it's damaging to the lore. And DC, you've canceled movies before.
God.
This is a movie to cancel. Do yourself a favor, please.
Yeah. So growing up with the animated Batman shows, right? Like the way that they did the Joker, there was always a theater aspect to him. And when I say theater, like in the way that he moved was very like, because like Joker would dance at times and like there would be like, types of music that was played that you would hear in a musical. But the difference is, Jerry, is that type of music was used to drive his craziness, if that makes sense. That
Yeah.
like the Joker sees everything as kind of like a fair like the fairy tale music was kind of supposed to show you that the Joker sees everything in this fairy tale mindset, which in that way of telling the Joker story, I think is beautiful. And a perfect live action example is someone like I would say Jack Nicholson. He's probably the closest to that Joker to where, he saw everything in that artistic, musical-ish like sense, but it wasn't to where he was singing. But then you get the other extreme of that where you get, Dark Knight, where the Joker is just a minister of chaos. And I think that there's a centerpiece of both of those that you need. Like, I think you need the Joker to where we can view his life through that fairy tale of craziness, but also Joker is also a minister of chaos and evil. And I think together that makes the most perfect Joker of all time. And with this Joker, I think this is just feeding into the algorithm. Just being honest, I think they're going with what the mass amount of people would like, which is number one. This feeds on this fact of mental health, which is a really big topic, which is one of the reasons why this film did so great. And then the second thing is a musical. So every musical child is going to, well, not child, but a lot of people that are into this stuff, and I'm a musical guy. You know me, bro. I love them. But when it comes to the character of the Joker, I will always say his driving force is Batman. Without Batman, there's no Joker. So I have a hard time with this film.
The other
In
issue I
general.
have with the Joker, and this goes back to the first one. Did I enjoy the movie? Yes. But number one, I don't like the mental health justification for the evil of the Joker. Like, that is crazy to me. So many people have mental health experiences. I have mental health experience. I've never done anything like the Joker. Like, that's crazy to me. So, and you're giving, in a way, you're giving a lot of real life evil like a scapegoat of mental health. And the other thing here is, like, it really isn't that deep. And I'm going to give you two amazing Batman entertainment references. One of them is from a movie, the other is from the comics. Number one, from The Dark Knight, quote, Alfred himself, some people just want to watch the world burn. It's that simple. Literally that simple. Some people just want to watch the world burn. And number two, in Three Jokers, which is non-canon, but it's one of the best Batman stories ever. And it's by Jeff Johns, by the way, who a lot of people in the movie space don't like him. He's one of the best DC writers ever. And in the Three Jokers, basically, there's three different versions of the Joker that are acting simultaneously, and there's three Jokers. But at the very end, Batman had, I forget if it was an envelope or a paper, where it had information about who he was before he was the Joker and his origin and how he became the Joker. And I forget exactly how he discarded it,
Yeah.
but he discarded it. And the Bat family asked him why. And Batman just responded. And I forget the exact words of the quote, but what he basically said was, it doesn't matter. He is the Joker. How he became the Joker is irrelevant to what we're dealing with. And that's like, and if you can't understand that about the Joker, that there's a reason he never had an origin story, like you just don't understand the fact that when you're dealing with a problem like that, it doesn't really matter. It's like, it doesn't really matter how Osama bin Laden, came to be and had the desire to commit 9/11. He decided to do that. So America had to take him out. Like, it's that simple. When you deal with that level of evil, there's no justification for it. And because there's no justification, the reason is irrelevant. And that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. It's pointless. But here's the thing. I'm more than sure they're doing it. They're giving it the Batman treatment. They're going to let their projects rock. And then after that, we're probably never going to see them again. So it's fine. All right. Now, Penguin month is here, guys. Penguin comes out, I'm pretty sure, September 19th. So I want to talk about this show. Now, the Penguin is based off of the Batman movie with Robert Pattinson. And so the Penguin is basically like we are getting a deep dive into the criminal underbelly of Gotham. And I'm really excited to I ain't gonna lie. At first, I was kind of hating on it, to be honest. I have been watching the trailers, watching the interviews, watching Colin Farrell and Matt Reeves talk about the project. And I will say it has piqued my interest. So, bro, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about the Penguin show coming out this month? And are you excited to, kind of take a deep dive into, this Batman universe that we both enjoy?
I am so excited for it. I love the expansion of the Batman universe. So I am also a big fan of Paul Dano. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name right, but I think it's Dano. Anyway, the guy who played the Riddler, he wrote a 6-issue comic prequel of the Riddler, and it's like an origin story for his Riddler. Those were amazing. And this show looks amazing. But aside from looking amazing, it's obviously a mafia type of television show. And I think because it's a mafia kind of TV show, I think it's going to attract viewers that don't necessarily watch superhero movies and shows. Like, my dad is the perfect example. My dad loves mafia movies and shows. He loves Sopranos, loves everything Martin Scorsese, The Godfather, you name it. But he doesn't like superhero shows or movies. And I feel like there's a lot of people out there, and I think that they're going to watch this show and they're going to be like, wow, this is really cool. Maybe I should give the Batman a chance. And I think that it might introduce a newer type of fan to the genre.
100%. And I kind of wasn't seeing that. And, I, as much I do still feel that way. They are taking a dive into a Batman character. I can't be mad at it. I just hope that in the in the DCU, I do want them to go for the actual Cabo pot though. Like, I want it to look stupid. But that's a topic for another day.
I loved what they did with Colin Farrell. I think Colin Farrell absolutely, stole almost all the scenes he was in the Batman. By the way, I happen to have watched the Batman this past weekend, and I actually have been meaning to email Max because I am pissed with
what happened. What happened,
bro? And it's not just this weekend, but every time I've watched something on Max lately, so I keep my volume on my sound bar, and I have a sound bar that has 2 rear speakers and a subwoofer. I keep it at 25 for pretty much everything. Yeah. If I'm not watching like a movie with special effects or anything, and I'm watching like a regular TV show, I'll put it at like 18 to 20. But if
Wait,
it has like sound effects, like
can I ask you? Can I ask you real fast? Are you the type of guy where do you sit down and watch it, or do you do stuff while it's on?
if I am doing something while the movie's on, like checking my phone, I pause it.
Okay. Sorry, just go ahead.
So lately, anytime I go to Max to watch something, I can't hear it at 25 and I raise it to 40 or 50. But even 40 or 50 wasn't loud enough. And then I also noticed the screen was kind of blurry. So I was like, oh, I really want to watch the Batman. I'm just going to buy it on Apple TV. So I bought it on Apple TV. The picture came through much clearer and the sound worked perfectly well at 25. So Max they're doing something where the audio isn't coming out strong enough. And that's a big problem. And
well,
if they don't fix it, I'm not going to stay subscribed to them.
Yeah.
Like,
that's funny because on my soundbar it's too loud.
Really? With Max?
Yeah. Yes. So like at the lowest volume, it's like really like it's loud. So like I sometimes have to turn off the bar just to play the regular TV speakers.
Really? That's interesting.
So yeah, and then I also had an issue, but it was actually my internet. So I was trying to watch Harry Potter because it's on Max, but it wasn't popping in 4K, so I had to like redo my whole. At first, I thought it was Max, but I had to redo the Wi-Fi, and it worked. But yeah, so very interesting. So Max, come on, fix that, bro, fix that.
Yeah.
Now the last topic of the night. Why James Gunn isn't taking the Batman universe forward after Penguin. So it's been pretty clear and that that we are getting the Batman 2, but James Gunn really isn't going to go any further with this. But mostly because we are getting a DCU Batman. So I wanted to really, bro, just talk about the reason why, because I do feel like a lot of fans on X and on Threads and Instagram really don't understand why James Gunn doesn't want to have both. Now, I know you were more in favor of actively having both, but I'm more than sure that you understand why he would want to end it as well. So let's break that down. I'll give one reason and then you can give another one. I think one reason is because of the fact that James Gunn is trying to land a fantastical Batman, and maybe to him, having a more real, like having a more noir story might like affect the impact that maybe his Batman could possibly have. Maybe there's not enough budget. Like, I mean, I'm not necessarily sure, but when you have two separate live action characters, a lot of problems could arise with just the fandoms, and you could maybe put those Batmans against each other. And to be honest, with the past, bro, that DC has had with just things getting ruined, I think it's a safe option to not do both.
Yeah, I think that's what I was going to say. Like, it's just, you don't want your products competing with each other. And when you do that, you stifle the success of both.
Do you think that's a possible issue? Off topic, do you think Spider-Man would have that issue or no?
What do you mean?
Like, let's just say that Miles does come to the live action and Peter stays. Do you think do you think that would be an issue? Or no, because they're two different people.
It's a good question. I don't think there's any. I don't think anyone could say 100% that it wouldn't be an issue. I think that it's more probable that it would be an issue than it wouldn't. However, I think that Marvel will do both. I think Marvel will do both for at least a little bit. I think what's going to happen is they're going to do both for a short amount of time and then kind of take Peter out and have Miles be the guy.
Yeah, I agree. So, yeah, guys, look, we're going to end it here. So just want to tell you guys, man, we are going to be covering Penguin every week. I'm going to be doing breakdowns of just each episode, but then obviously when we get into the actual podcast episode, then we'll do a deep dive on the show. We've been like, I mean, Jerry is really excited to cover this show.
Yeah,
So
I
am
can't.
I. Yeah, there's nothing better than just having content to just go and cover. So we are really, really, really excited about that. Also, this didn't make the docket, but I did want to talk about it. We did The Thing. I know you saw that mask of The Thing, bro.
Oh yeah, I thought it looked great. But they are, by the way, they confirmed they didn't confirm it, but there was a picture of him walking around with motion capture pants on.
Really?
Yeah.
So I also like how he's getting a suit. It's not just going to be like just rock, like just rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's going to be that's also something very different from what we've seen before. But bro, I love the costumes like with the white collars. Like I'm a really big fan of those suits.
Yeah. I like the suits. I like that they got like his facial features in there, like his eyebrows, his mouth. I mean, he looks like straight out of the comics.
100%, 100%. So yeah, I am really happy that now there is another one. There is another set photo, but Jerry and I like talked about it offline, and we're going to wait to get more details because some people think it's Shalabao, some people think it's Nova, but we have no proof on who it is, and we can't talk about something that we don't understand. Like we don't know who it is. So when more info comes out, we'll touch on that. But all in all, man, the Fantastic Four looks good. Also wanted to talk about Agatha really fast before we get out of here because that didn't make the docket at all. I am very confused from a story standpoint with the whole Joe Locke thing because my interpretation was that Joe or was that
Whoa.
what?
Josh Brolin, according to Jeff Snyder, declines the offer for Hal
You're
Jordan.
lying.
And Matt McConaughey and Ewan McGregor are also in the mix. So whoever said Ewan earlier, that's crazy. Culture Nerd posted it.
What?
I'll send it to you. Check your DM.
Dude, we're adding this right now. Hold on.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
I'm gonna just put Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Okay. We're in a new world now, baby. Holy frick. Well, I guess we're not ending the episode yet, okay? Crap. So let's read this. We are covering this on the spot. According to notable reporter Jeff Snyder, if Josh Brolin declines the offer for Hal Jordan, Matthew McConaughey and Ewan McGregor are also in the mix for Hal Jordan. How would you feel about Matthew McConaughey playing Hal Jordan?
I think he would crush it. I think Matt, I just don't, I'd be shocked if they're willing to pay him the kind of money because Matthew McConaughey is A-list.
He would be the perfect mentor too.
Yeah.
Like he has the voice, the mannerisms. Like that would be actually interesting. Ewan, I just don't see Ewan as Hal Jordan.
I gotta say, I really like Matthew McConaughey. I always like him. I think he's a great actor. He seems like a really solid guy, with legit values, and he's not like he doesn't come across as like one of those phony types. I think he would crush it as Hal Jordan. I think he's like the next best thing under Tom Cruise for that role.
Yeah, that's the best one we've heard so far, other than Tom Cruise. So make that happen, y'all. Screw Josh Brolin at this point. Just go for Matthew McConaughey.
And by the way, this brings like another glaring hole in all the fan casts because this is a very well-known A-lister that nobody fan casted for Green Lantern.
100%. Because James Gunn is cooking. And bro, also the thing is that James Gunn is watching everything. So I feel like whoever people are choosing for fan cast, he's just going the opposite.
Yeah. And you really never know what someone sees, like, or who could be watching. Because, like, I'll tell you this, if John Campea didn't comment, I never would have guessed he would have saw us.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. So all right, we're going to end here. We obviously got clips going on almost every day, so please like, subscribe, and follow us. Follow if you want to see some comic actual cuts. Follow Jerry at Comic Cuts, also on Threads and on X at Comic Cuts. For us, we're at Superhero Cuts everywhere. We have another channel called Special Cuts where we're talking action. fantasy. We actually have our first podcast episode next freaking Thursday, where we will be talking about just action movies. A lot of James Bond talk. A lot of James Bond talk.
So be ready for that. It's going to be a blast. And if you are a Bond fan, you don't know Bond, you want to learn about Bond, I promise you, I'm the guy to go to.
So, yes, sir. So, all right, guys, have a great day and peace out. Stay crispy. Peace.